I have never believed in ghosts. All the stories told on rainy nights, the rumors in the small neighborhood, or the yellowed diary entries found in old drawers, to me, were just ghost stories made up to scare children. But that night, when the clock on the table struck midnight, my worldview collapsed in an instant. The days blurred into nights, and every hour I spent in the house felt like a test of endurance. The letters had given me knowledge, but knowledge was no comfort when every shadow seemed alive. My father's journal remained open on the desk, its brittle pages describing how the mirror had haunted him, how it had taken something from every generation before us. Yet, no matter how much I read, I knew I was only scratching the surface. It was the silence that pressed hardest against me. During the day, the house was still, but at night, it came alive. The knocks above my head were no longer occasional. They grew steady, rhythmic, like a heartbeat pulsing through the ceiling. The air would chill without reason. The lamp would flicker, and sometimes, just before I fell into uneasy sleep, I heard breathing that did not belong to me. On the third night after Michael's last letter, I heard something new. A voice. It was not Michael's gentle whisper anymore, but deeper, drawn out, heavy with patience. David. My name echoed through the house, as though spoken from the attic itself. I froze in bed, my body rigid. I wanted to believe it was a dream, but the sound was too clear, too deliberate. I sat up, heart pounding, staring at the ceiling. The mirror was above me, hidden behind wood and dust, but the presence seeped through like water through cracks. I forced myself to whisper back, "What do you want?" Silence followed, stretching so long I thought I had imagined it. Then came the answer: to be seen. The words scraped at my bones. I clutched the sheets, breath shallow, as the ceiling groaned above me. I remembered Michael's warning that the mirror was not a window, but a door. The figure the watcher wanted me to look, to acknowledge him, to give him space. The next morning, I avoided mirrors entirely. I even covered the one in the bathroom, unable to risk catching his reflection. But the avoidance only made my fear grow. My father's journal hinted at the same thing. Once the watcher knows your name, he will call until you answer. That evening, as the sun dipped below the trees and shadows crawled across the walls, another letter arrived. I almost couldn't bring myself to open it, my hands trembling as I tore the envelope. Michael's writing was rushed, uneven, as if he had little time. "David, the watcher has begun to speak to you. That means the mirror has opened more. He wants you to look. Do not meet his eyes. Once you see them clearly, you will never be free." Our grandfather saw him. He lived the rest of his days, speaking only to the dark, until he wasted away. Father tried to resist. He locked the attic, but he still heard the voice every night. He wrote that one day, he answered, "That is when the watcher took something from him. That is why he never spoke of it to us. He feared the same for us. Now, it is your turn." My chest tightened as I read the last lines. He will not stop. The longer you resist, the louder he becomes. But David, you must learn why he watches. The curse is not only about fear, it is about hunger. The watcher does not sleep because he waits. He waits for the moment when someone finally opens the door completely. That is the cost our bloodline carries. I dropped the letter, my hands slick with sweat, hunger, waiting. My father had died with this knowledge, and Michael had died running from it. Now it was my burden. That night, I tried to keep every lamp burning, as if light could hold him at bay. But at midnight, all the flames flickered together. The shadows thickened, pooling like water. Then came the voice again, louder, filling the walls, pressing against my skull. David, I gripped the desk, shaking. What do you want from me? The reply came like a breath against my ear. To be remembered. I stumbled back, the room spinning. My reflection quivered in the dark window pane, and for a moment I swore there was someone standing behind me. The watcher was closer now, his presence undeniable. I forced myself to read the journal again, searching for answers. One passage stood out. The watcher calls because he is bound to us. He is not only the shadow in the mirror, but the shadow of our name. To break free, one must understand why he waits. But no one has ever dared long enough. I realized then that escape was not possible. Michael's letters were leading me to something. The attic, the mirror, the truth. The watcher's call was not just to frighten meat, was to draw me closer, to force me into facing him. And I knew the next letter would tell me more. Stay tuned for the next episode, where David receives Michael's next letter and finally learns what the Watcher hungers for and why their family has been bound to him for generations.